maybe interactive session. Here I am just a coordinating person. I know many of you have already very vast experience. It is that's why it's called webinar, and with the combined effort of all the next 2.5 hours, as long as interactive. I may be here facilitator only. Only the few slides I may run, and we can interact with each other. I know there are a couple of people have enough experience in this particular thing. IBC and banking is it's like a, most of our job is relationship with the banker and the NCLT. Particularly banker is something. Sometimes it may be very difficult, sometimes it may be very easy, something like that. We are going to talk about this presentation, talk about impact of IBC on competitive landscape of banking sector. That means there are it's talk about maybe the introduction part. What is distressed asset? How bank is treating NPA? How overdue is coming, and what kind of sector? That kind of broader overview. Then case basis. How much from 2016? How much cases addressed through CARB liquidation, whatever it may be, through IBC mode, how bank get benefited out of this IBC, that we are going to talk about. Many around 15 case study I have. How if these cases are not comes under IBC, what will happen? There are certain cases, even our insolvency professional also, even if you are the banker, feel that why IBC is required. Something already Surface Act is there, or DRT cases are there, why IBC kind of thing. But after 2006, with the kind of volume of recovery, here the resolution or recovery, the amount is enormous. The so-called we cannot able to recover the amount, or we cannot able to resolve the cases, it all recovered. Whatever we are talking today's session, it's all the case study also, it's all closed cases. We are not going to talk about the running cases, the landmark judgment on a few cases, how it is impacted in banking sector. That's we are going to talk about, and the end of the session, the challenges and opportunities for the insolvency professionals relates with the banking sector. That is we are going to talk about. There are three broad categories aspect we are going to discuss. One is just introduction about. I'm not talking about the entire banking system, just how banks are dealing the distress asset. That may be introduction part. Then IBC preview. Most of us know very well about all these things, and the landmark judgment relate with the resolution and recovery. These things we are going to talk, and the end challenges and opportunity. Now we can move to the slide. Now we are talking about impact of IBC on banking, exploring how the IBC reshapes the competition within the banking sector, strategy within the banking sector, and how even the particular circular or particular the practices, principle, what kind of changes happened within the purview of banking. That is we are going to talk about. Here in India, there are certain key players are there. We should know which are all the key banks. As far as IBC is concerned, there are two major banks, State Bank of India and Punjab National Bank. These two banks are almost within the IBBI data. If you are talking about any financial creditor, their banker, the case are involved with most of the cases. Almost when we overlook all the cases and all, almost 60% of the cases with the public sector bank, with the SBI and Punjab National Bank. These are the major bank. Most of the cases fall under these. They are other public sector bank like IOB, Indian Bank, Canara Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India. These banks also there, but the large portion of the current cases or the past cases belongs to State Bank of India and Punjab National Bank. There are private sector players, HDFC Bank and ICICI Bank. These are very strategically important banks for Indian banking industry. These banks also play a vital role in particularly IBC. The challenges currently faced by the banking industry is NPA, non-performing asset, and that impact of economic fluctuation. NPA play a vital role in Indian banking sector. All the public sector bank and private sector bank, they are working on it through technological innovation, through manpower usage. There are innovation practices are going on the side by the RBI regulation also. Based on that, they are facing challenges. And despite the challenges, even we are going to discuss about the last part, opportunities. There are plenty of cases still available within the banking sector for IPs. We can see with the IBBA data itself how the future opportunity lying with the insolvency professional. These are many, the banker may know, and even all the member also, all IBs know all these details. Reserve Bank of India is the regulatory authority. Public sector bank, there is the categorization, private sector bank, foreign banks, regional rural bank, cooperative bank, and small finance bank, and payment bank. The first four, particularly first point number 2 and 3 only currently in IBC system, and there are other ARC and NBFC also there under purview of RBI. That's all not. I am not mentioning here as a banking system, but it's a financial institution like NBFC and asset reconstruction company. They are also involved. Particularly the RRB, cooperative bank, and small finance bank, payment bank does not have currently any role in. There may be a possibility of in small finance bank like PPIRP, MSME sector, they may fall. Their cases may fall under that category. Rest others, it's minuscule. We didn't see any cases from these banks. Public sector bank and private sector bank, that also only selected banks having high volume of cases. Public sector bank play a major role in Indian banking system. Not only in IBC, even in the entire banking industry. They are the one reaching all the rural areas. Everywhere their presence is there. Unlike the private sector bank, wherever the profits are coming, wherever the customer segmentations are there, their presence is limited with their own opportunity. But public sector bank, they have the government push for doing financial inclusion and other things. That's why vast networks are there with the public sector bank. Government support also there with the public sector bank, and also their reputation and trust factor with the client. Here we can call it as a customer. That either it may be company or individual. The trust factor is very high with the public sector bank. Non-performing assets also, it reflects with the non-performing assets also. That's where State Bank of India or Punjab National Bank or Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, these banks are having high number of IBC cases. Like they are big elephant. Elephant have certain problem. The NPA also there when compared with the private sector bank. Private sector bank also they have strong financial performance and their tech-savvy approach. Nowadays, even the public sector bank also that their technology is at par with the private sector bank, but moving towards the futuristic way, using the technological tool, private sector bank is slightly ahead of public sector bank because of the efficient operation and the biggest problem with the private sector bank is though the lead bank concept or the financial inclusion concept is there, still their reach in rural area is limited. Unlike public sector bank, they are working for large masses. Private sector bank working for classes like the wealthy customer or even the minimum balance requirement for a large private sector bank is very high when compared with the public sector bank. These are the key play. Even there are other foreign banks and small finance bank and regional rural bank and payment bank. These are in IBC per se, they are limited thing. Foreign banks, there is a possibility of IBC cases, but so small finance bank, MS like PPIRP cases, currently linking with the small finance bank cases. RRB and payment bank, it's not part of the currently none of the cases linked with those institutions. The current challenges in the banking sector, non-performing assets still the preemptive corrective action. There are other parameters taken by the Ministry of Finance, RBI. Still the NPA is high challenge, and cyber security threats. That's also a problem in the banking industry. But when compared with the volume of business they are handling, in Indian banking system, though the cyber security threat is witnessed, but the percentage, what we may say, it may be less than, the impact is less because of the size of the bank and the intense competition between the banks. Even the lending business also, the competition play, even the IBC cases comes because of competition also. If somebody first time they are lending, like if State Bank of India giving one private limited company with 100 crore or 200 crore for based on their balance sheet, based on their asset, whatever the mode, either it may be secured or unsecured, both are applicable to IBC. Even in the IBC, there is no separate classification for secured creditor or unsecured creditor. All are considered as financial creditor only. The intense competition also play a major role for more NPA, or the cases comes to IBC. Even if we analyze the root causes of the problem, competition is required. That is one end positive. Another end, even the SBI sanctioned one loan, then another bank, because SBI is sanctioned and then their scrutiny process, though they may have all the guidelines and all, and their credit committee sanctioned the loan, because the trust is already the another bank appraised, and maybe the small requirement out of the target focus or even the January, February, March business, they may follow all the circular, and they know, banker know how to fund the company. Because of these competition, later stages, there is a possibility of risk. This is financial illiteracy and all comes with the financial inclusion only, though even the IBC cases, highly literate people, even the corporate debtor, those who are involved in all the stakeholder, either it may be operational creditor or financial creditor or the particular corporate debtor, everybody are highly literate. Than even many cases, they may be more knowledge than the banker. They may have, I'm talking about the corporate debtor. But in here, I mentioned it's related with the financial inclusion. That's all not comes under IBC. And human capital challenges. These are the biggest challenges currently facing by the banking sector. Like our NCLT benches also facing staff shortages. Similar way, both public sector bank and private sector, quality manpower availability and high quality people are moving then and there, particularly the private sector bank. attrition is high. Even the few of the quality manpower in public sector bank also moving one bank to another bank. That's also, yes, banking is all about relationship. The relationship will not come within one day. It may be for longer tenure. Then that's where the human capital challenge. Any other industry, still banking industry also, attrition and all these things are there, and it's all that also impacted NPA. The human touch is missing, or all system driven, but the anyway the follow up and all has to be done by the human, and that is somewhat challenges in the current banking sector. Every year they are developing something, and the new challenges they are facing. Why I am mentioning all these things? Because we should know the banking sector core issues also. What kind of problem they are facing? When we know the banking sector current issues, when we talk with the bankers, those who are handling NCLT cases or DRT cases, if we have all these background in, because anyway we are not going to solve the bankers issue, particularly the asset, we are going to solve those issues, but their own internal issue we don't have any role. But if we know what kind of problem currently they are undergoing, then our discussion may be, because even like banking, the insolvency profession also networking of people, and we should understand the other person strength, weakness, and what kind of challenges they are facing. Banker challenges as IP we should know. Then only, even I can say there are certain few, when we can meet banker, what time may be the preferred time, whether we can go to morning 10 a.m. or 11 a.m. Something like some IP want to empanel, want to become maybe empanel with any of the bank, and we are going to meet any top officials or those who are handling NCLT cases. What time may be the preferred time to meet those officials? Ideally, afternoon maybe. This is I'm telling, because I'm also a banker for more than 20 years in the banking sector. The evening time, because morning time, there may be some possibility of each NCLT person, they are handling maybe court hearing or something like that, or they may have internal meeting. Normally, bankers have their own morning meeting, something like that, and they meet their own customer also. But afternoon, there may be a free time. Then the ideal time to meet a banker is afternoon time, and with the prior appointment. Then that time, if we talk with each other, that means banker and IP, we should know their own problem also when we talk with bankers. That's where we should know the banking sector current issues also, and also current opportunity. Opportunities in banking sector, still the digital banking penetration and the role of technological advancement, the large scale fintechs are currently, even if you go with the State Bank of India website, they are for each product, currently they are engaging with a different fintech sector. Because banker also know that the future is lying with the technological advancement. They normally banker in-house technological development is currently people are slowing down, and there are enough the outsourcing is there, particularly technology advancement. A lot of fintechs are there, and even you can find it in State Bank of website, the procurement tender. Year on year, they are adding many partner for their own technological advancement, whether it may be liability or asset or service, still partnering with like-minded institution. And there are a lot of government initiatives also there, but that's all financial inclusion space, and green finance opportunities also there in the banking sector. The banking sector also evolving over period. The product also evolving. The all these are based on their own experience, though broader guideline may be provided by RBI, but each one bank have their own product based on their experience. That's where the potential is very high. When as long as even IP, as IP, we can say that we need not worry about how much if NPA is increasing trend. Another end, the lending also. That means the disbursement also high in the banking sector year on year. That even you can think that if bankers are lending, then our IP profession may be in green. As long as they are lending more money, there is the opportunity for certain kind of risk, and that risk IP can handle if the cases are comes in resolution for NCLT benches. As long as they are lending, we have huge opportunities. And there are prudential norms, guidelines by RBI about some how to handle NPA cases. There are certain prudential norms. I think many of you heard about the name out of order account. That means there are OD account or CC account. They are consistently exceed the sanction limit or drawing power. That is comes under out of order account. That is if out of order is continuously there in one particular company, there is a sign of future NPA or any other, even the cases maybe comes under our SARFAESI or IBC, there is a possibility. Out of order account. The bankers are always vigilant on the out of order account. Periodically, the frontline forces talk with customer for come out of this out of order account. And continuous outstanding balance remaining above the sanction limit or drawing power, then that's also potential financial trust and or mismanagement of the fund by particular company. There is a possibility. First we talk about out of order, another is outstanding balance. Always the outstanding balance is higher end. The banker needs to work on how to control all these things. These are all inner things. These kind of challenges currently bankers are facing. And lack of credit activity. That means the particular account, either it may be OD account or the cash credit account, it is not operative for any credit more than 90 days, then it is highly challenged. Then the company is not in very active. That's also the bankers are facing current challenge. And insufficient credit to cover interest. What we can say, even the interest is not, whatever the accrued interest, the particular interest is not served by the particular company, then that is the biggest challenging account. Whatever we are talking about IBC, that's all post-mortem in banker point of view, post all the problem issue, there are different avenues are there. These are all the things once the problem identified by the banker and the perennial problem or the after 1 year or 2 year, these things may move to the bigger challenges in later stages. And the implication of out of order stages is potential legal consequences that may be fall under NPA, and also the all the regulation, all the compliance part. Banker need to respond to their own higher authority, not only for higher authority, it's for banking per se, it's a compliance issue. And monitoring accounts health, regular monitoring of account activity, balance, it's all the out of order account, the monitoring of account health is very, very important. And now comes under the pre-stage, the NPA pre-stage is overdue. That means even 1 day, the customer need to pay the amount on particular month end, and the amount is not repaid next day also, that account fall under overdue category. Overdue is unpaid amount that is due to the bank particular time, particularly due date. If that is not there, then it's all symptom for future problem. Bankers focus is on these overdues also. Even 1 day overdue also, they may be very serious, and they follow maybe first 5 days or 10 days. There are few banks, they are putting penalty for these accounts also, even 1 day overdue also. And also it will be, we all know that there may be a impact on credit score, CIBIL score, commercial CIBIL score, company CIBIL score. It will affect the particular company for future lending. Consequence of overdue is there means they may not avail further lending from, or late fees, interest penalty, and some other bank, if they have some order, but still it is a problem. That's where consequence of overdue payment, it affect the debtor here, the customer may face consequences. That's why the importance of timely payment is very important. Even the banker, they may see these as even whatever the credit facility they offer, they may be complete track on this on every day. That's why even the overdue something is there, means they can, the customer can sit with the bankers and they can work on the what kind of mechanism they can adopt. There are other solutions also there. These are all pre-NPA problems. And communication with the bank. If somebody facing the difficulties, bankers are very open. Something like restructuring or restructuring, that's also within the regulation purview only they can able to provide. But within the regulation, how they can support. That's where the corporate debtor or the customer, they need to sit with the bankers to work out the payment plan or restructuring your debt. These are all currently doing by the bankers. And now these are all overdue. Whatever we are talking about overdue, maybe it may be 1 day to up to 89 days. These cases call as overdue cases. And now NPA, we may know what is NPA. That loan is no longer generating income for a bank or a financial institution. Currently, it is more than 90 days. It is considered as NPA. Repayment not done, or the whatever the out of order, something like that. It is going beyond 90 days, except there are certain segment, particularly farmer finance and all, that's all fall under different category. That is fall under cropping cycle. But the other corporate debt, these are all anything above 90 days, that cases comes under NPA. Classification of term loan NPA, even the interest is not served or installment overdue is for more than 90 days. Then maybe the monthly payment option is there. In 3 months continuously they are not paying without the principal payment for more than 90 days, then it comes under NPA. Overdraft and cash credit NPAs, these are all the out of order, over limit, and the credit inactiveness more than 90 days, then it is fall under NPA category. It's also specific to particular product, but in our case, IBC cases, most of the corporate finance and all fall under anything above 90 days, it's all fall under NPA. Bill purchase or discounted NPAs, that's also 90 days. Crop loan classification, why I put this crop loan classification, that is different NPA classification. If it is short duration crop loan, the installment is 2 crop season. Normally, 1 crop season may be 90 days or 100 days, means 2 crop seasons, beyond that two crop season, they are not paying any amount, then that will be that is for short duration crop. If they like sugarcane and all, it's all long duration crop loans. That is one full crop season, maybe 12 months or 15 months, something like that, or 2 years, depending upon crop season. That's a NPA classification for farmer finance is different. Securitization transaction that's also remain, if it is more than 90 days, then that is also classified as an NPA. Derivative transaction also fall under this category. If it is anything more than 90 days, it is they are not paying any amount after the derivative contract terms duration. If it is crossed 90 days, then it is also fall under NPA. Regulatory requirements for banks also, there are certain risk management protocol they need to follow, and every quarter they need to give a report for compliance purpose. There are separate risk management. Even the small banks also, they have separate risk team will be there, and they may be there across regions, across zones, across circle. The people will be there and identify the risk element. Then they will drive with their own business forces. The income recognition. Actually, here the important fact is anything above NPA, if banker feel that cases needs to be filed with IBC, even they can, even after anything above 90 days, they can file they can list, they can target something like that. But IBC, as per IBC rule, if default is occur and how long the value, something based on that, if it is applicable, they may approach IBC, or even the housing loan segment, or the fully secured asset, something like that is there. If that is land and building, then they may go with the SARFAESI. Asset classification, this is technical word. There are 3 classifications, actually 4. Standard asset, that means no NPA. Substandard asset, anything less than 1 year. If the NPA is more than 90 days, up to 1 year, that classification comes under substandard asset. Actually, in even bank need to put some provision based on the category of assets. Doubtful asset, anything go beyond 1 year, that is NPA. The recovery is highly questionable and improbable. These are all fall under doubtful asset. Doubtful asset also, provisioning needs to be done. That is biggest risk for any bank. Loss asset, anything normally beyond 3 years, normally 3 to 4 year classes, completely. Here banker need to provide, if it is a secured assets or unsecured asset. Loss assets means 100% provisioning. Even the substandard asset and doubtful asset, the unsecured credit and secured credit, that provisioning is different. The substandard asset means within 1 year. Doubtful asset is anything more than 1 year up to 3 years. Loss assets, anything above 3 years, then that asset, that loan comes under loss asset classification. Essential protocol for classification. The banker normally will not classify non-performing asset as like that, because then the problem will start. That's why they are very clear on how before putting NPA, they will work out whatever the options available, particularly classification criteria. They will, and the review of limits, whether they need to increase the limit or reduce the limit, reduce the time duration, something like that. When the account is in overdue status, they may work on all these things. And the classification on that may not come under currently in IBC thing. If it is in financial space, the primary aggregate credits, the bank may lend to some other particularly agri-related things. That's all different classification. And timely identification of NPA is crucial for a bank. Normally, if they postpone anything, then it will be very problem. Even if you take, there are certain few big cases. Even I don't want to mention that case, but everything available in public domain. The initial problem may be there are certain, particularly the airline cases. Most of the time bank failed to identify the NPA. That means timely identification of NPA is, if they done a pre-homework well, then they may avoid these things. And after what we can say, something like collateral security not a factor. That means here in banking language, whether the collateral is there or collateral security is there or not, that is irrelevant. Even beyond 90 days, the cases are there, security is there, banker will treat the case as like unsecured case. That means say the secured and unsecured is immaterial. Whether the process of the account is in active, whether the process everything is following. Collateral security is for legal purpose only. For the banking operation purpose, whether security is there or not, that is immaterial. And temporary aberration also. There may be insufficient drawing power, overdue stock statement. That may be that's all temporary. Then banker need to sit with the debtor to work about the problem. The working capital account also, if working whatever the working capital, if irregularity persists beyond 90 days, they may check the financial status of the unit also. Why it is not working capital is not properly utilized, or working capital is underutilized or overutilized, or nothing is done. That will be done by the banker frequently. Upgradation of loan account after maybe the follow-up by the bankers. Some account may be whatever the interest arrear or principal arrear or whatever the limit exceed, if they recovered the amount, then that will be comes under standard assets account. They may not worry about such thing, but the follow-up is very heavy. And borrower-wise asset classification. The asset classification is borrower-wise. That is either it may be company, large corporate or mid corporate or small corporate. That is for company. Even the individual, the classification is different. That's where the banker has segmentation. The large corporate handled by separate employee, mid corporate handled by the separate employee. MSME sector, there may, even within MSME, there are two, three vertical VPs, even across banks, including public sector banks. Bill discounted under LC. Whether the time is elapsed or something like that, they will look for it. Not only for 90 days. That means the time is, if the LC limit duration time beyond that, then they will work. Before that, they will work out. And immediate classification for erosion in security. Like our IBC, if we delayed for resolution or liquidation, whatever the process, the security value will be eroded. The same with the regular even the NPA accounts also. The advancing against paper securities also, they need to, particularly term deposit receipt and whatever, even personal calendar. The personal calendar, they may given some other financial instrument as a collateral, then they need to review it properly. That also need to be verified before putting into NPA. interest payment moratorium also. Sometimes they may provide, depending upon the loan product, they may give moratorium. Staff housing loan, it's a different, altogether different follow-up is required. If we know all these small things, these are the basic things. Before the bigger issue, they are following all these things for effective operation. Asset classification criteria, the impact of recovery record, it may be a higher classification for NPA. That means the year is more than 3 years, then that classification is different. Pooling of remittance. This is for, I think, most of the IBC cases fall under these kind of category. If the risk is beyond banker control, if it comes in legal purview, particularly consortium lending. There are 3 or 4 banks or 10 banks, they are lending for one firm. Then the pooling of remittance is very important. Like the CIRP, the separate bank account kind of thing. For the consortium lending, the pool account is required to, particularly these kind of, if NPA cases, then pooling of remittance is required. It may be pooled with one member bank, maybe the lead bank in that consortium, other the centralized collection account, then based on the pool amount, they may distribute among other consortium lenders. These are the banking practices followed by even we can say pre-IPC. It is not highly risky cases, but NPA, even the NPA treatment under consortium arrangement. Currently, the biggest challenge is if they are not, if one consortium bank, there are 4 banks, this may be one case. One bank, the debtor is failed to, that may fall under NPA, and other 3 banks, they are following. Then the banking perspective, the impact is full. That means 4 lenders lend to one firm, one company. One bank classified one account as a NPA. Then the consortium lender, their account is active and they are not, they are paying regular payment also. But as per the consortium arrangement, that value also comes under NPA classification. Though other lender, NPA is classified with one bank, and other banks there is no NPA, but technically the whole amount comes under NPA. Then normally what the lead, whatever the NPA bank, they will send the letter to all the banks. These are the these account comes under NPA. Then they may take the whatever the recovery, even it is not collective, it is collective mechanism. That means the responsibility lying with other lender also, because their loan also may fall under NPA, though the account in regular. That is highly risky in the banking arena. Something like somebody taken 2 crore, 2 crore is NPA, somebody given 50 crore, then 50 crore also, that may be regular, but it is as per banking terminology, that's also treated as NPA. That is why I said implication of member bank. One bank NPA, then other banks lender, there is no class. It is also treated as NPA. Understanding NPA classification is very much important for like us. We should know all these classification and all the things while dealing with bankers. Classification of project loan is something different, particularly infrastructure, road, railway, power, these kind of sector. The classification is based on the project. Some moratorium may given, something like that. Actually, many banks are lending even The security is based on the contract they are availed from government or something, some project loan. That kind of cases may many cases may come to IBC because security is the physical security may be very less, but the security may be some kind of arrangement with the order, contract order. The loan amount also may be big. Infrastructure loan, all the NPA classification is something different, and normally it depends upon the duration part. But still, the time limit elapsed with 90 days. That means after 10 years, the repayment starts, something like that means then the day one itself already started if they are not paying, and more than 90 days, then it will be fall under NP. And also the failure to commence operation, particularly infrastructure projects. They avail loan, the commencement of operation is not done for more than 2 years, then it will be treated as NP. This restructuring standards also different for project loan. Extension due to delays also sometimes given, it is depending upon project loan classification. Non-infrastructure, normally within short tenure, the asset may be fall under NPA if it is not paid. Failure of the DCC ON, that is DCCO, date of commencement of commercial operation is not done, then for particularly non-infrastructure project, particularly project oriented, that may more than 6 months mean it will be classified under NP. What kind of other issues currently bankers are facing in particularly project loan changes? Increase in scope before commercial operation. That means something like 10 crore, 100 crore sanction, and latter part they may require 300 crore or 400 crore. If after 400 crore only they can able to start that.
बाथरूम में टाइम नहीं दिखता है, फिर 4 दिन बीमार पड़े रहना.
Madam, please mute your. Yeah. That means increase in scope before commercial operation. That means they may avail 100 crore or 200 crore. Before commercial operation, they may require 500 or 1000 crore. If we are not, the bankers not providing that loan, then commercially they may not start also. That's also a problem. And the cost price threshold also. Because they may start the project 10 years before, and after that, then it will, after that it will be increased, then also it is problem. Then bank viability reassessment also, what kind of approval initially they done, what kind of the initial assessment, then the periodical assessment, there may be the challenges in reassessment also. New rating criteria, something like CRISIL rating or some other rating tool people are following. When within start span reassessment done, something like that, again, and we are doing it, then the criteria may change. Then the initial assessment and the current assessment, it will be problem for the bankers. Provisioning norms, that's what I mentioned. Even standard assets also, if any standard, substandard or doubtful asset, loss assets mean 100% provisioning, depending upon the sector. These are substandard assets means if it is in unsecured, the substandard asset percentage maybe provisioning is higher rate. Doubtful assets means up to even unsecured portion, doubtful asset. For secured asset, the provisioning is maybe it depends upon the bank norm. It may either it may be 25%, 40%, or 100%, depending upon tenure. Unsecured portion, it is 100% for a doubtful asset. Last asset, both unsecured and secured, anything above 3 years cases, 100% provisions needs to be given by the bank. It will be impacted their balance sheet very badly. And there are certain guidelines for sale of NPAs, particularly sale of NPAs to any ARC, asset reconstruction company. There are guidelines are there. Maybe we should know what we are certain cases lent by banks and it's moved to ARC, and more, few of the cases come to IBC for the ARC, maybe the financial creditor, where they bought these distressed asset debt certain years back. Maybe all the limitation and everything will be there. They will file their complaint with the NCLT. There is a possibility. In that stage, we should know what kind of procedure they are following. Return off of NPA also, taxability is applicable whenever again they like through most of the bank cases comes under IBA. Literally, it may be written off from their balance sheet. Once IBA, all the resolution or recovery, that will be comes to income. Then that is also taxable. Separate balance sheet they are mentioned. That also we should know. Now there are separate branches are there for particularly State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India. There is a separate branch for stressed asset management. Most of the IBC cases that branches are following. The NCLT, whatever the designated NCLT nominated bank employee will be sitting in that branches, and also they may follow with customer also, like attending the NCLT cases and also the pre-IBC cases. Even they are the one filed cases with the NCLT, Stress Asset Management Division. The specified period also given for particularly stress asset restructuring cases. It will not come under IBC, but the period NPA cases, some kind of restructuring, the specified period may be a time frame may be given to corporate debtor. Most of all the banks as per RBI guideline periodical. It's all dynamic in nature. The circular will be both banks and RBI. The circulars are depending upon practice. They may change frequently. Bankers are need to be equipped with dynamic nature of restructuring guidelines. Restructuring of industrial units also need to be particularly the industrial borrower facilitate the recovery. Something like if the funds, the large project they started and it is in like infrastructure project kind of thing, industrial big project stuck up with some kind of licenses or government regulation, any issue is there, means bankers needs to do all the restructuring activities. Corporate debt restructuring mechanism also bankers are frequently following. SME cases, small and medium also, they are doing all restructuring cases. Overall, the asset classification benefit, full security of dues, adequate cash flows for infrastructure project, viability of timelines for unit. Like our IBC, even the bankers are looking for the like a going concern kind of thing. They are not looking for only recovery kind of thing. Though by practice we may look they are focusing on recovery, but banker perspective also, because it's a loss asset. If something, even the repayment completely done, normally repayment completely done also problem for bank. That means if the account is in loan and it's in a regular account without NPA, then the bank will get all the benefit out of the business. Anything loss mean only NPA losses. Even the good business, if they repaid completely and they are coming out of that bank, then bank balance sheet will get affected, their profit will get affected. That's where bankers are providing more options like restructuring things as per their own internal workings. Normally, banks, any business, the promoter shares, promoter contribution towards the project, banker may think. But even in the most of the MSME cases, I'm not talking about the large corporate, most of the MSME cases, bankers will take a personal guarantee. The guarantor may provide their own personal assets. I'm talking about the MSME cases. This is practice. Not only the company property, most of the MSME cases, bankers may take a PG. Their personal guarantee, they may take it with secured asset also. Even without security also, the personal guarantee they may avail for future legal consequences. Like our IBC, preserve economic value of units. Now always, that's where I went to 2 slides before I explained that banker also, if the unit is in running stage, then it is business for them. If it is approved to closer, even the recovery, all recovery, even IBC cases also, if it is recovered and also literally their future business is cut off unless that particular company is still carrying that limit with that particular bank. If they are moving out of the system, then it is problem for banks also. Even the good account may move out to some other bank or out of the bank book. That's also problem for banks. That's why always banker look futurist perspective. They will preserve economic value of units because it will give future business for them. And avoid evergreening of problem accounts. That means non-performing assets keep on the certain what the airlines the account something like that in happened in India. The bankers know when it is NPA happened, but because of that loan amount is very big amount, their credit committee is very higher level. Then the postponement of even the videocon cases, the kind of thing. These are all the bank book, maybe the provisioning and all not done. They are so off, and one day the bank book may bust. They lost 8,000 crore, 10,000 crore from particular company. This may happen. That's why bankers should be vigilant. Greening of problem accounts, evergreening. Only the operation may tell anything, not on security, not on their image, not on their brand. That's all irrelevant for the banker. Banker is look for the operational aspect, the statement aspect. All these things is very important for bankers. That's where at the time of loan, even any loan currently minimum 50 for particularly corporate finance, minimum 15 days to 30 days or something like 6 months also they are taking assessment. The importance for careful assessment is very much important in corporate lending. Another thing is quick detection of weakness in account is need to be checked by the banker. Otherwise, it will be futuristic problem. It may comes in finally, it may be in SURFACE or DRT or IBC. These things may happen. Time-bound implementation of restructuring package like our IBC. the time-bound implementation is required, and most of the banks have their own separate guidelines for all these things. These are all just background. I'm not talking about any practical aspect of the all cases. What background NPA is classified, and that we talk about so far. And now we are moving towards the understanding our IBC thing. Even 4 or 5 slides, everybody knows, because we are all insolvency professional, we know everything. Then I move to case loss. It may be slightly interesting. It's practical oriented. Key objective of IBC, everybody knows: consolidation, time-bound resolution, creditor rights. Earlier it is debtor-driven model. To IBC, it is creditor-driven model. Economic growth. It is good for country. Provision. There are various stakeholders involved. CARP process, liquidation, insolvency professional involvement, committee of creditors role in different things. National Company Law Tribunal play a vital role. NCLAT also play a vital role. These are all the things we may know. Shareholder, everybody know: debtor, financial creditor, operational creditor, employees, government, government particularly. Here we call it IBC, our own regulatory bodies. Insolvency professional, investor. These are all the stakeholder in IBC. Pre-era and post-era, what kind of earlier multiple laws and forum, lengthy legal process, limited creditor rights, lack of time-bound resolution, low recovery rate. Still, we may think that because as a banker, I know now also we are thinking that even after IBC also low recovery rate. But when we see the data, even I'm going to present that details also. The recovery rate is currently very high in IBC. It may be surprising also, because we are involving the cases, we know all the pain. That's where we thought. Now I'm talking in the banker's perspective. There are certain cases, if you take in the upcoming case study, even the Jet Airways cases, whether it is possible, maybe the consortium lenders are there, whether all the lenders can recover the money, practically it is not possible. Because of IBC only, at least the percentage may be less, but even if IBC is not there, it may be the zero recovery possibility. That is the highest challenges. That's where the earlier even the Kingfisher Airlines, something like because everybody knows these cases. That's where I quote those cases. Even pre-era Kingfisher Airlines, still the amount is not recovered. This is a similar way, Co-Air, Jet Airways, these kind of things. It is very high advantage for bankers. At least something they are getting out of. If IBC is not there, they may get zero. But now at least they are getting 30% or 25% or 40% or 60% or 70%. That is huge push for banking industry. Pre-era, there are inadequate infrastructure. Who will handle? And the volume of cases also very high. Bankers, their own recovery team, their own, even they put the recovery agent, but still a lot of problem. But if it is in, there are different law comes under one category, something is happening instead of nothing. And earlier it is lack of specialized expertise. Now all of us are insolvency professional, and the NCLT also there. Another regulating body, IBBA, is there. The specialized expertise to handle this for certain period only. Not all the time the IBs are handling all the cases. Once its resolution is comes to an end, then company going to as a going concern, it's very they may be running a profitable company. But if number one, banker cannot able to handle the company as a going concern, but IP can handle it. increased NPA, that's all pre-IBC. Even if you take any banking balance sheet, every year now NPA in reducing mode. Even I could say period to 2015, in between 2010 to 2015, there is lot of banks are put under promptive corrective action. BCA, we call it as a BCA, promptive corrective action. What it means? They may not be able to lend money to any new borrower. Their position will be standstill. They need to recover the amount because their NPA is more than 10%, more than 20%, more than 50%. Even now, you can check any of the bank. Earlier, most of the bank, even one stage, Punjab National Bank, Indian Overseas Bank, Indian Bank, it's all fall under. I think Indian Bank, the 20 years back, they faces severe issues. But in the PCA era, that means promptive corrective era, they are actually profitable bank that time. I'm talking about the history. IOB is in PCA for a long time. Now you didn't heard about BCA because that is not at all. I'm not saying because of IBC everything fall in place and there is no BCA mechanism for RBI imposing PCA mechanism to banks. Not like that. There are signs are there, NPA is reducing. All the public sector banks, even 2015 era, 2010, the NPA is very high. Now, post IBC era, though there may be IBC not the direct, because of IBC NPA decrease, not like that, but IBC also one of the tool to reduce cross NPA. Stressed asset also now exclusive focus. Banks, these are all pre-IBC era, stressed asset is more. Development of investment, no investor is coming to India for new businesses. Even if you say in after 2015, the many startup company raised big money from investors because these IBC framework, they are all the multinational venture capital people. They look for whether the legal law is there, whether they can recover the money. That our IBC law is there. After IBC, many startup company, even the existing company raise funds through private equity, venture capital, even debt, large foreign debt fund. These are all come to India post IBC era. Here I put it in the pre-era, what kind of challenges, simultaneously, whatever I am talking, it's all with the data. As IT, we always think that because of lot of challenges we are facing, that as an insider, as an IP, we may think in negative way, but I'm talking in the banker perspective. Banker perspective, IBC is boon for banking industry. Yeah. Now comes forward the second portion of our topic, cleaning up of bad loans through IBC by banks, how it impacted in Indian banking industry. Now there are a lot of cases. I think we are in online. I think you can listen these things. I'm going to talk about all the practical aspect of IBC aspect, how it is benefited to Indian banking industry. These are all the comparison we know already. I talk about pre-IBC process and the post-IBC process in detail. This is one cases I personally taken the data from our own IBBI side. Post pre IBC and post IBC. Earlier, the pre IBC era, DRT, even if the cases are goes to DRT, the percentage of recovery rate is only 35%. Normally, DRT cases, something like check bounces cases or any land, agriculture land cases, these are all fall under DRT cases. DRT recovery is highly risky for even many DRT cases go with the DRT court for more than 5-10 years. Even more than 20 years old cases are there in DRT. The recovery is almost highly challenging. I'm talking about the practical way. Here I mentioned DRT mean not IBC era. I'm talking about the pre-IBC era cases. SARFAESI, still SARFAESI bankers are, even if you housing loan or any other personal security asset, the SARFAESI, they may recover 100%. The problem with even most of the IBC cases are fall under based on balance sheet funding, based on infrastructure funding, based on company brand image funding. There is no the proper security involved. The security may be in paper security or different kind of security. When we want to recover money from customer, then it is highly challenged. That's why SARFAESI is why 45% recovery only. It's all pre-era. Post IBC, the recovery percentage is 75%. I'm talking in the banking perspective. That means there is a possibility of the pre-era and the post-era, the recovery percentage is growing. Even the IBC, there are certain cases, even though IBC NCLT admitted certain cases, still the financial creditor recover money through SARFAESI. Anyway, that's also impact of IBC, not only SARFAESI. The IBC and SARFAESI complement each other. There is a possibility. DRT may be something different. Rebuilding trust is possible because of IBC. Early intervention is possible because of the going concern concept. Resolution, the resolution of financial distress is possible. Because third eye is watching, something like that. Normally, banker may feel that I can handle these things. But if it is comes under NCLT and comes under IP, there is a third eye, and third eye may provide comprehensive solution, not for the only financial creditor, for the sake of the company benefit. Then it will be very, very useful for the industry. Yeah, this data, there is a the corporate insolvency process, how the number, you can look at these number, it may be in the year 2016 and 17, the number of cases is admitted cases are 37. Beginning 12,617 cases admitted so far till September 2024. Admitted cases are 8,000. Only 4,000 cases are not admitted. But we can talk about that cases also. And banker point of view, that is also good for banking. Even if you take the 8,002 cases admitted, 12,000 remaining 4,000 cases not admitted. That is different problem. But that cases also bankers are recovered money from the corporate debtor. There are how much CIRB commencement out of these 8,000. The commencement of liquidation happened in 2,630 cases, and year on year the cases are increasing. Only the COVID period the number is reducing. Now it is in increasing trend. Even 23-24 the 442 cases. Even the post COVID era the cases are increasing more, and now the 2 quarter around 160 cases in liquidation, and around almost 450 cases are there admitted, and we can see the number of cases are admitted cases. I am talking about the admitted cases. Hope is 24-25. The cases admission may reach the highest level. There is a possibility. Here the point, whatever the admitted cases year on year, the financial creditor overall gets benefited 3812. The cases are initiated by financial creditor is 3,880 and other people maybe OC and all 3,706. Overall, that already we talk about 12,600 cases. These are all just breakup. How here the financial creditor, most of them are banks and few financial institutions like ARC and few NBFC, big NBFC. Amount involved. This is withdrawn cases. Actually, this is interesting table. One thing is number of cases withdrawn before admission. Year on year, Assan March, even if you take Assan March 24, till last financial year, 10,22,000 withdrawn. That means this data shows it is not admitted, it is withdrawn. But as a banker or even IP, we should know the impact of these 10 lakhs. What is there? There is a high possibility, there may be assumption, there is a high possibility of there is some kind of arrangement or some kind of repayment happen to banks. That means only admitted cases only banks are getting benefited. Even withdrawn cases also, there may be a other legal cases, limitation period, something like that will be there. But majority of the portion, some kind of negotiation, arbitration, and the settlement may happen, or any kind of arrangement between corporate debtor and the creditor or operational creditor, the settlement happen. That's why they withdrawn the cases. But that kind of details is not available with the IBBA because that data we are not. That means IBBA is not capturing those things. Whether out of court settlement and something like that, it is not captured. But we can easily understand that there is 10 lakhs worth cases withdrawn. That means withdrawn means simply withdrawn. Some kind of settlement, some kind of negotiation, some kind of arbitration. These are all the things already happened. Then it is hugely benefited person is bankers. Another big topic is, I think now the personal guarantor cases are a big game changer in the IBC system because of the new regulation. Personal guarantee, the case filed in DRT, the cases filed in NCLTC now very high. The value is increasing more even within a quarter. If you see in April to June 2024, the amount, even corporate debtor themselves, they are filing the case for CARP or the PPARP cases. And the creditor here, most of the cases are in financial institution and bankers. The cases are increasing. That means there is a huge opportunity for IP. Every personal guarantor cases, IP will be involved. The cases are in increasing trend, particularly amount. Even within half yearly, it reaches something around 30, the amount value around total 35 crore. And another 6 months is that we can expect 80,000 crore resolution can be happened through these PG, CARP, PG, the cases may be CARP or the PPRP cases or the cases filed in DRT. If the cases in already there in NCLT means the PG case may not go to that place, but the first time means that's where the DRT cases also currently increasing more. Even the last 6 months, the number is negligible in DRT. Most of the cases are filed in NCLT. Overall, the RP appointed cases are number of cases RP have been appointed 66. That means these PG cases, most of the cases, the IRP or RP not appointed, the cases are very high, but the RP are appointed after admitting. That means the NCLT are after admitting only even IRP or RP are appointed. That means the empaneled IPs are assigning this role. Because most of the cases are after admission by that maybe the same time, admission time only IPs are involved. That's where the huge opportunity is there for IPs in relate with personal guarantor. Another thing is banker's perspective. The most of the MSME cases, yes, largely the MSME cases, the personal guarantor will be there. That's where the cases are now increasing, and we can expect this is not the standard, and we cannot predict how the future will be like that. But one thing is for sure, the personal guarantor cases may increase in upcoming days. The PG cases currently application filed is 3539. Before appointment of RP is 52 cases. Number of cases where RP have been appointed only 66. After appointment, that means after admit, maybe at the time of admission only, IP names are adding. That's where the banker's perspective, PG is even both IP and banker perspective, it is game changer. Shaping the future of credit, there may be challenges in willful, what kind of culture, particularly in banking industry, willful default, the same thing with the IBC also, the NCLT cases also, the willful defaulter, because the case delay or the postponement of all the deadline, these are all happen because of willful default. For fraudulent practices also, these are all highly challenged. That's where the cases are beyond the IBC stipulated time period. Ethical consideration also, continuous improvement also, because we need to improve a lot in terms of technology, in terms of process, in terms of operation. We need to go beyond certain things. There are other certain aspect relate with the NESL, number of data. Yeah, I did not mention there are certain cases in when I shared the PPT to ICSI, I add all these cases. There are maybe PPT is not there, but I will share certain cases, case studies. If you take about Busan Steel case, it's a clear-cut case of banker, particularly the affected bank is State Bank of India. The case involvement is something like 45,000 crore. The amount due to the resolution, the Busan Steel cases, 35,000 amount recovered. SBI caught almost 85% of the distress asset resolution. That means the Busan Steel case is a very interesting case. State Bank gets hugely benefited because of IBC. The case value is very big. Same in the case of Jet Airways. But Jet Airways, the case is complicated because the airline case is always the Jalan, the resolution applicant is Jalan in UAE, the big group company. They are the resolution applicant. Though the recovered amount is, the total case involvement is 8,000 crore, and the recovered amount is something 25% of the 8,000 recovered. That also there are IDBI, then State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank benefited out of ZRWs. That means if that case does not fall under IBC, if bankers are handling all the problem, there is no solution for surfacing through surfacing or through TRT. No possibility. Only civil court cases. I think we all know that the civil court cases, because of the all other legal issues, it is a high problem. That's where the ZRW's cases also. Another PPRP interesting case, coconut land developer case. Coconut land developer, it comes under MSME category. That in the IBBA data, there is no amount involved. The amount is that, I think that may be the first PPARP cases resolution. The case amount is not mentioned in any, because the biggest challenge in PPARP cases are because out of the court settlement also happened during the PPARP process. Because everything will be coordinated more, and the amount is not disclosed in the order. Only thing is the first PPIRP cases, Coconut Land Developer Private Limited, that's a real estate company. That amount involvement is few crores, and because the data is not available, few crore, but the 100% of the financial creditor, only the operational creditor, they got only a small cake out of that thing. But anyway, bankers get full amount, and now it is revived and running smoothly. That case is not liquidation case, it is a PPRP resolution case. That is also a very interesting case, and the bankers get the small few crore, 5 crore, 3 crore cases settled by IBC. Then another is SR Steel. SR Steel also a very interesting case, and bankers got around 38% of their portion. That's also a lot of license issue. The international challenges are there. If it is not there in IBC, it is very problem. Even many of the real estate cases settled in, I think we all know there are few real estate cases. That's also bankers get benefited. Where real estate case is interesting factor. The financial creditor may be, banks are lend for the project, but there are other creditors also there. It's very risky. That means a different kind of human resource is required. But now currently our IPs are handling even that cases cannot be handled by bankers. That's for sure. That is handled by IP. NCLT given right time order, and the amount is recovered by the banks. Then one more case in the few more cases in, there are challenging sector in IBC, bankers are facing. There is no solution, existing solution other than IBC. Power sector and infrastructure sector and airlines, these are currently, as far as based on the case analysis, it is because of their focus, IP focus. The power sector can be either it may be resolution or liquidation, whatever it may be. IBC bankers, particularly State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, getting even recent Parliament. I think our Honorable Finance Minister put it in the Twitter. Through IBC, 3.5 lakh crore bankers amount recovered through the IBC process from 2016. There are 6,000 plus cases. The resolution done. out of that 3.5 lakh crore amount is recovered by bank. Many of the cases, because the small cases maybe lot of challenges will be there. The big cases, without IBC, banker may not get any benefit out of that. Even there are certain, even I can give some glimpses of our NESL, the utility. NESL, that is the only information utility currently available in IBC, under IBC. There are cases, even if you see here on, that means all the banks, not only banks, NBFC, all the financial institutions, whenever they are, including personal loan, including credit card, including housing loan, including large corporate, mid corporate, small SME, everything they are registering with information utility. There are, if you see, it's all periodical data. Even we can see the 23-24 data. 23-24 alone loan authenticated by debtor. That means financial creditor. They have given information. That's 1 year period. 13,20,000. 13,20,000 crore. And also 12,54 lakhs crore authenticated by default. That means default is already intimated by financial creditor, but that cases are not come to IBC. There are here the individual insolvency cases also there. Currently, that is not in practice, but corporate insolvency cases, potential corporate insolvency amount also there. If you put all the amount together, it is something like a very big amount. Even year on year, it is increasing more. If you say loan record authenticated by debtor, means it's all not only insolvency cases, it's a loan given data. That means even if you take July, September, 18, within 1 quarter, 18.97 lakhs crore amount, all the banks and financial institutions register the data with NESL. 15 lakhs, with only 3 months period, 15 lakhs 23,000 amount, default amount, they put it in the NESL. That means huge opportunity for IP. These are all potential cases. Because now through these data, we can interpret that through these data, banks and financial institutions registered their regular lending cases with the NESL. Even the banks are putting default. That means the default also authenticated. If you calculate, it's like 100 lakhs crore plus default amount currently there within the system. That means there are future potential opportunity there for us. That may be expectation. There are certain cases beyond banker control, beyond the recovery agent control. It may be the resolution may not be, resolution at the banker level may not be possible. But still, if you see the data year on year, in 22-23, the banks are authenticated with 678 lakh crore. These things are authenticated by debtor. There are huge money involvement. The loan recorded boarded by is very big, and the cases are number of default cases are 15 lakhs plus. 15 lakhs plus even within a quarter. 13 lakhs is last quarter number of records. 23 and 24, the loan record is 12 lakhs 54. That means there are 40 lakhs cases are, number of cases are filing with utility. The amount is huge, 100 crore plus. The data is available, and maybe whatever I mentioned in the data, it may not be remembered, but I will share this data also. It is publicly available data only. What I mean to say is, through information utility IU, the potential is very high because of default authentication by debtor, particularly financial creditor. The debtor is defaulted, it is noticed with IU, the number of per quarter 15 lakh cases are recorded. It includes personal insolvency cases also, but what I mean to say, even quarter on quarter, it is increasing trend. It may be there are because of the default, the number of cases. Key insights on IBC case and economic survey. What I mean to say, even it is registered in economic survey. There are out of even we mentioned 8,000 cases filed, admitted cases. Out of that, 3,017 cases successfully resued. 3.36 trillion rupees recovered. That means 3.36 lakh crore amount recovered. And number of cases, the data may be one end I put up to September 2024, another end March 2024 case because it's related with budget 6,500 cases. After the last 6 months itself, 1,500 cases added. The resolution rate something 20 to 25%. Certain big cases the rate is big. Even the liquidation rate is 50 to 60%. Resolution rate is, that means resolution number of cases are 100 admitted, only 20 to 25 cases able to do the resolution. That means resolution applicant identified. Otherwise 50 to 60% of the cases are it is moving towards a liquidation. That is current trend. The understanding recovery rates, average resolution time, that's all slightly in increasing mode. But when compared with the old legal thing, it is very less only. Source for recovery data is from our own IBC annual and quarterly reports only. Maybe I will provide 5 minutes now, 4:15. Maybe 10 minutes break. We can come 4:25. We can start the exact all these cases and all we can see.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. 10 minutes break. We can rejoin at 4:25. Can we start? Okay, we can start now. There are such based on the resolution or recovery liquidation. Whether my voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. My manufacturing sector, approximately the resolution rate is based on the data. It is 30%. Real estate sector, it is something higher side when compared with the manufacturing sector. Power sector is 10 to 15% only because of the licensing issue, power purchase agreement, all the regulatory hurdles are very high. Hence, even the bankers are not able to get their required amount out of it, or we can call it as a distress asset recovery is not up to the level in the power sector. Because of IBC, the opportunity for new entrants, particularly market, I already during our presentation, it attract foreign investment because of IBC. Focus on specialized area like MSME, which are all traditionally underserved by the banks. Now the focus shifted towards specialized area. Emergence of diverse financial institutions, particularly asset reconstruction company, small finance bank. Small finance bank currently providing loans to not only financial inclusion space, but particularly MSME area. Another biggest difference is merger and acquisition is happening. Even pre and post IBC, the merger and acquisition already took place in Indian banking system. Still, we are expecting the weak bank may be merged with a strong bank. That's all a possibility. Because after they get fund, the big say the funding option, the risk management option is wide for the banking industry because of IBC. Another is within the banking system, the competitive pressure may be created. All the technological adaptation, cost optimization, product innovation, these are all the changes happened within the banking industry. And another is the race for a distressed asset. ARC and investors are engaged in a competitive action. Particularly currently the alternative investment fund, there are certain investment options, they are not currently in the system, but already regulation allowed ARC, the asset reconstruction company, even the group of HNI investor, they can pool the money in alternative investment fund, then they can participate in resolution plan and the liquidation thing. That's all huge opportunity is there. Participation for other investors, there is a possibility. There is an intense competition. Currently, it may not be seen, but we can predict wherever currently the digital platform also there, the many participants, if everything streamlined, the participation for resolution applicant, the participation for liquidation kind of thing, we can witness many new entrants in this area. Market share shuffle, particularly in banking industry, particularly their own capital infusion, the dilution of capital and the putting money in that thing, going to change drastically. Another biggest threat in the IBC war is competition for talent in not only here IBC means only insolvency and bankruptcy, but also within the banking industry, within the NCLT, within the specialized skills are required, talent acquisition strategies, investment and training and development, that's all going to happen. Technology adoption, data analytics, artificial intelligence play a vital role. currently we are in, I think we are in very initial stages. The full technology adoption, right from the CIRB period to CIRB admitting the cases till their resolution and or liquidation, everything can be the one window itself, one umbrella. It can be possible through AI, ML system, data analytics, technology adoption. These are all expected changes we may witness. Another is bank may, after the capitalization of or merger or acquisition, bank may seeking capital from investor for growth and expansion because of IBC. The IBC can impact bank capital needs due to higher provisioning and write-offs. Access to capital, bank may compete with attract capital from investor across globe. That is possible. Capital market, IBC influence bank access to capital market. That's also possibility. Level playing, another is the level playing free, cross-border insolvency, challenge. Currently, it's all, I think, we may collaborate with multiple nations. Even IB may have a huge role on these. Another biggest disruption, that means what currently what we are seeing, impact of IBC in banking. Another biggest impact we may witness in future, that fintech disruption. Fintechs are challenging currently traditional banking model. That's where now the fintech guidelines also RBI is periodically putting in the master circular, and the credit impact of fintechs influencing overall credit landscape. Not only currently fintechs are using in small loan, the big technology, the big companies also, fintechs plays a vital role. That is hugely impacted in the entire banking system. Another is biggest the NBFC landscape that is changing. I'm not talking about the low value, because like microfinance, I'm not talking about those NBFC. I'm talking about the big NBFC. Big NBFC like Tata Capital, the Edilsville, these are big NBFC. There are NBFC, they are even the mid-sized, they are equal to their asset base is mid-sized bank size. Particularly PPARP cases, NBFC may flow in because of these new regulation, new rules, new code, particularly PPARP. NBFC play a vital role in that thing. Global reach, already I explained the cross-border insolvency, it's all in draft stage. The international cooperation going to happen. IB may, that time IB may get fruit out of this. They may even not only in Indian Indian IBC code, they may handle Singapore cases, something like that. It's a cross-border insolvency provisions are there, and all the legal arrangements between the partner countries. Then there's a lot of scopes for IBs. Even the banking scale may change because the international acceptance will be there. Regulation, the role of competition between the regulator, influence of IBC on competition, monitoring competition dynamics, preventing anti-competitive practices. Also, the regulator may put some guidelines. There is a possibility. These are all impact of IBC, both in even the system itself, and another is the banking system itself. Lot of changes going to happen. Long-term impact is visible. Even now itself, it is visible. because of the large scale project now solved through IBC for resolution and recovery. And it's a dynamic market, consolidation going to happen. Technology play a vital role in shaping the IBC, particularly future of banking going to change in a big way. Global integration also a possibility is there. Future of banking sector, how it is going to be. Currently, the financial institution or NBFC is not part of the IBC, but mean they may be the financial creditor, but they themselves not they are not put it in the insolvency. But in India now there are few merger and acquisitions happened through NCLT only. There are few examples. Particularly Diwan Housing Finance Corporation. It is the first NBFC put it in under CARP. Though the IBC code not exceptional for NBFC, but RBI initiated CARP for Diwan Housing Finance Corporation. Pramal Capital is a resolution applicant. And the current, the earlier IOP MD and CEO is the act as a, in that time they call it as administrator. That MD is, I think Mr. Surendranath, something like that. Currently he is heading the RBL Bank as a MD and CEO. He is the IP for Diwan Housing Finance Corporation. Though NBFC not fall under this IBC domain, but the RBI initiated, but it is strategical move. The first NBFC put it under CIRP and their realized amount is 42%. The resolution applicant is Pramal Capital and Housing Finance Limited. Likewise, then the SREI Equipment Finance Limited, that also NBFC, the resolution applicant, and though again I am repeating, there are currently four NBFC through NCLT process only they done a merger and acquisition process. The financial service provider, trusted person is Diwan Housing, SRI Equipment and SRI Infrastructure Finance Limited. And another is Reliance Capital Limited. That's also routed through NCLT only. Though they are the NBFC category. IndusInd International Housing Holding is the resolution applicant for Reliance Capital Limited. IP also appointed, and the amount admitted is 9,661 crore. And amount realized is 37%. The realization 23.42%. This is unique cases. This may not be available for. These are the four cases, exceptional cases. NBFC put it under CARP resolution process. It's a strategical move by RBI. Here we can see the DHFL financial trouble RBI action. 2019 it is put under, the case is filed in NCLT. Appointment of resolution professional. Here that current RBL MD and CEO is act as RP. Call for bidder, submission of bidder. Even if you take November 2019 they put it, and the case is stage wise is there. I think you can see these PPT later stages, but within 2 years, 2.5 years, everything merger happened. With the DHFL merged with resolution application Pramal Capital. They occur, and through IP only there. Here though it may not fall under banking category, it's a financial institution routed through NCLT mode. Future, I think we can witness there may be a possibility of any merger and acquisition with large scale NBFC the possibility is that currently the NCLT appointing or RBI proposing these cases with maybe top level bank executives as resolution applicant, the resolution professional. Everything done within 2 years. It's a landmark NCLT case. Landmark case, complexity is very high. Effectiveness of IBC is involved in this process. Successful resolution also. Pramal Capital got that case. The one case I already mentioned, PPRB cases, coconut land developer case. This is a clear the MSME case, few crore amount. Because in PPRB cases, in the order, we may not find the exact value because of the disclosure. Because many of the discussion or negotiation happen out of court. That's why few things may not be, we may not get the exact data. How much amount is the default amount? How much is the, here the approximately 25% of the amount is recovered creditor, financial creditor. That means the financial creditor may not be able to address these issues to surfacing. Without surfacing, because here the all things are only the operational thing, no secured properties are there. Still banks got 25% of the claims out of this case. Coconut land developer case, this is a real estate case. This is this case filed under PPARP mode. Resolution planning and credit collaboration, achieving favorable outcome we can witness through these coconut land developer. Many times our IB looking for any PPRP cases are there. These case may be the case study. Only thing is the biggest problem in PPRP is we may not get entire picture unless that particular IP only know everything, because rest of the things are confidential matter. Jadar that's a CRP case. I already explained 8,000 crore case, 30 to 40% of the amount recovered by SBI. Then another PPRP cases, there are second case, that company name is not disclosed in the order. That is Ahmedabad the textile MSME company. That is a PPRP case. Successful recovery happened. Same with the Delhi-based real construction company. That is also PPARP case. The resolution also done. Again I am repeating, PPRP cases, yes, that's all out of court settlement negotiations happening. That's where the entire detail we may not know, but there are, what I mean to say, banks are getting money for even MSME cases. That is interesting in this part of the IBC. There are certain cases without collateral, physical collateral, without land and building, only financial instrument or only personal guarantee kind of thing. That also banks are getting money out of these cases. General trend in PPARP cases. Recovery rate is higher than traditional CARP, especially for MSME. That means without, I am talking about without collateral, without securities, without certain cases go to surfacing. But here, without surfacing, if cases are coming under PPARP and yes, it's an arrangement between both the corporate debtor and corporate, everybody should accept all these things. But still, banks are getting some money because if they are dealing this case out of IBC, then the money, whatever the expected amount, it may be zero. But currently, PPRB cases also, the banks are getting quick resolution. When compared with the CARP, the timeline also very quick, and because both the corporate debtor, the financial creditor, IP together they are working for solution. That's where the result is high positive. In PPRP case, the PPRP cases, the challenges are confidential. The biggest challenges is disclosures, and even it is not transparent also. But how I think that is the beauty of BBRB cases. Whatever the data, maybe IP know that corporate debtor know, the financial creditor may know. That is the high challenge in the PPR. Maybe the regulator over the period, they may come up with any innovation kind of thing. But currently quite challenging, particularly if we want to learn something. That as IP, I want to learn PPRP. Only we can learn it through the existing IP who handle that case. That is only practical available. That kind of data or system process, that kind of things currently not available for public domain. This is Bhushan Stool. I already told the 80,000 crore, 34,000. I think this Bhushan Stool is different. DHFL I already explained it. Another is the liquidation case. Banker, actually the Alok Industry case, the background of Alok is 30,000 crore worth debt with the financial creditor, particularly banks. And there is no way of getting money, but at least the 10% of the amount recovered through this IBC process. If it is not happened through IBC, it is very, very difficult. Even 30,000 crore, 10,000, we may see 10% is very less, but banker point of view, out of 30,000, if I get 10%, that itself huge. That is possible because of our IB. Major bank affected in this case is Bank of India, Central Bank of India, Dena Bank. These are the bank, not SBA, Bank of India, Central Bank of India, and Dena Bank. They got these 10% of recovered estimates, liquidation, through liquidation mode. Power sector, it's a huge high challenge. Even the estimated stress asset is 1.8 lakh crore. It's a complex process. The infrastructure funding agency, Power Finance Corporation, Rural Electrification Corporation involved in the percentage of resolution or the percentage of liquidation, if it is in liquidation stage, the value is very, very less in power sector. That's bankers are, even the financial institution and bankers are getting only low value. SR Steel cases, it is clear cut, the recovery percentage is very high. It's an interesting fact, 49,000 crore case. The amount recovered is ArcelorMittal acquired, the ArcelorMittal is a resolution applicant. They got it 42,000 crore. It's a successful CARP cases. The bank benefited out of these cases, State Bank of India. If it, you know, the value, almost 85% of the recovered amount, bank get money. It is, I think it's a landmark case. Even if SBI themselves, if without IBC, if they are approaching any civil court, it is practically not possible. Because 10 years or 20 years down the line, they may face severe problem. But SBI got major portion of this. Out of 49,000, 42,000 crore recovered through CARP process. Now here I am using the banker word, recover something like that, but it's a resolution. Even the institution also going now handled by ArcelorMittal. The amount recovery also, here the word resolution also very high. Jet Airways, it is a cross-border challenge, the cross-border insolvency problem. That's where airlines resolution always highly challenged. And in many cases, CARP practically, I'm talking about my own understanding with the GoAir, with the Jet Airways, these kind of airlines, the problem is straight away liquidation. That means CRP practically with the timeline practically not possible in airline. The Jet Airways case, the 80,000 crore case recovered only 30 to 40% of the dues were got. The resolution applicant is Jalan Kalra. It's a consortium of the individual HNI Jalan and Kalra company. Both the UAE and UK based Kalra capital, they both put together taken back these things. The bank benefited out of Jet Airways recovery liquidation. That is State Bank of India, Punjab National Bank and IDBA. These three banks got 30 to 40% of the recovered amount. Reviving a small manufacturing unit, that is already we spoke about the coconut land developer case, that is fall under MSME case. Financial it's put it under PBRB with the NCLT. Initially, the PPRP, the resolution plan is approved with that means the admission. The case admission is with 66%. Yes, PPRB, period to filing of case, financial creditor approval is required. That time, the case is approved with only 66%. The financial, maybe, for example, State Bank or Bank of India or Canara Bank, the only 66% before putting the case with NCLT. Then the case is at the time of committee of creditor, the approval rate is 100% for resolution plan. Then NCLT is a debt restructuring outcome. The company is now out of the distress and it's now a going concern with other the resolution applicant. That's where this is the first case of PBR, the Coconut Land Developer Limited. Currently, these are all the cases, whatever the cases I talk about, how banks get benefit out of this. Jet Airways, no way, if Jet Airways is not comes under the IBC, then forget about SBI can forget about all this amount. Now, at least 30 to 40% of 8,000 amount they received. SR still, it is big. I think in banking perspective, the recovered amount is very big. 85%, even the Surface Act, few cases, it is not possible. But IBC, it is 85% of the amount is recovered through SR CAR, resolution plan. Now the e-action, currently the platform also IBBA is emphasizing that the centralized platform is there. It will increase the transparency, wider reach also. Initially it may took time because of the understanding between the IPs and the resolution applicant and other stakeholder. It may take time. Once it is accepted by all the stakeholder, then sky is the limit because it is centralized e-action platform. Now they will benefit out of this because why the even Bhushan Steel case come under not these IBBA through these kind of e-action, but it's the resolution process itself. They done it through e-action only. That's where the amount is there. Then only the international player can put up resolution application. Even the local big players like Tata, they can participate. That's where e-action is crucial for future, even the futurist perspective. And these are all, even the banking or the even IP perspective, there are certain challenges currently in the industry is facing. Only is conflict of interests. The IP, there are few IP, that means IPs are navigating the role with, they put their personal interests out of their thing, only the professional things need to be there. That's why all the extraordinary transaction, avoidant transaction, the professionalism is required. Another is the impartiality, fair treatment of all the creditor and debtor is required for the insolvency professional. The banker expectation also same. Even sometimes the lead banker may here the major the voting person may dominate, but that time IB need to be balanced it. Confidentiality, that's where we are getting all the whatever the NDA for all the confidential information, we are getting all the agreement period to any stakeholder. We are maybe either it may be registered valuer or the auditor or the lawyer. The confidentiality very crucial. Then pressure from stakeholder. That's also IP high challenge. The pressure from stakeholders. Sometimes IP may feel that the pressure from banks are very high. Something like they are some IPs. The IP profession is a very novel profession. We are appointed by the NCLT as like we are court officer, but still the pressure from banks and the operational creditor, financial creditor, even the NCLT itself, that is huge. But that needs to be balanced. And the ethical dilemma also, the bidder kind of thing, the integrity is required. We may say there is no personal biases, but how we are obeying all the guidelines issued by IBBA. If minor 0.5% of the error, the IP may be in task. Another dilemma may be the case of favoring a creditor. Maybe any banker, then IB favors with some only few financial creditor, then it is unfairness will be there, and potential because of that, then potentially repercussion may happen. Then the timeline for completing the CARB, completing the either it may be liquidation, whatever it may be, then it will be task. IB play a vital role. Role of bank. The conduct of IPs for themselves itself, they need to provide even the decision, whatever the approval, whatever the ongoing process, bank needs to understand and coordinate with IP for effective resolution. There are these are all impact of even the banking industry, and in the because of IB, the impact of the IBC employment job preservation. Even if it is the case of Bhushan Steel, it's a going concern, and even the Alok Industries, it's a going concern liquidation. But again, the whatever the company got the liquidated value, then the employment still preserved. After successful resolution, the employment stability, it will be boost the Indian economy. That is the huge boost in the revival and job preservation category. Even if it is in the traditional way of resolution, that means either it may be surface or surface is a recovery mechanism. It is not a resolution mechanism. But in IBC, it's a clear-cut the resolution mechanism. Banks also benefited, the society also getting benefited, IB also getting benefited, everybody getting benefit out of this process. Here, the government as a facilitator, they are strengthening their legislative amendment. We are providing lot of feedback based on the cases, NCLT order. They are looking for periodical amendments are happen. Capacity bidding also parallelly happen. These are all impact of even the banks also. They change their own policy within their framework. These even many awareness campaigns are going on. Earlier, when IBC introduced, even bankers itself, they may not understand. Even only the within the particular department, stress asset management division, or any legal person, the bank legal person. I'm not talking about the external legal person. The bank, even the in-house legal setup, they know little about the IBC law, rules, and regulation. Now, because of all the bank cases, they are also getting all the fruit out of these. Now the awareness and because of the government intervention, periodical amendment, everything, but still a lot of challenges are there. But what I mean to say, the understanding, even being as IP, if you are meeting any banker, the explanation may be very limited. They know everything, something like that. Otherwise, other stakeholders also. That's where government play a vital role as a facilitator. That this is frequently in my presentation, even banks are getting foreign investment. The ARC, asset reconstruction companies, are getting foreign investment. New startup companies, because of foreign investor, no, they know that they can get it out of the IBC process. They can get something from the company if it goes with some kind of challenges, something like that. That's why it is attracting foreign investments. With the banking system also, new fund flow also coming to banks because of these regulations. There are learning from successes and even the failure cases also. A lot of learnings are happening. Early intervention, realistic resolution plan, effective stakeholder management, lesson for banks also out of this IBC framework. It is happening simultaneously. Not only IBs are getting experience, banks also getting experience out of this IBC success and failure. Not only success, even including failure also. The future may be navigating what kind of future we can expect. Delays in resolution, it may be addressed, particularly the banker friends also, and our banking system also. They need to adopt technological advancement, capacity building, cross-border insolvency. Then only the big corporate, they are getting fund from foreign investor. Then the appropriate regulating authority, and even both the foreign investor and the Indian investor, both are involving in the IBC system. Then the cross-border insolvency is required. Currently, it's in draft stage. Hope very soon we may get cross-border insolvency in place. Then the whatever the delay in resolution, practically it can be reduced. These are the important. This is bank future challenges can be addressed through IBC. We are one end. We are whatever the information utility data. Every quarter there are 15 lakhs cases are filed for default by the financial institution, by the banks. Every quarter 15 lakhs cases, number of cases for default. It include individual insolvency, corporate insolvency cases also there. What it means, it's a increasing trend. Default number also increasing trend. Another simultaneously the disbursement, banks loan value also, asset value also increasing. That's where more to handle all those things, technological intervention, the cross-border insolvency, capacity building of various stakeholders. Because we as IP, we are also student. Yes, every day a lot of changes are happening. We need to adopt it. Likewise, banks also need to adopt all those things. That's where the technology and other parameter play a vital role. With this, I conclude my presentation. Anything required for more discussion? I know we are all experienced IP. If somebody can asking question, I may be the facilitator, or I may answer a few things. And within the participant, they are not participant. I know they are very experienced professional. They may also answer it. This is now time for question and answer. Another half an hour is there. we can discuss. Any question? Okay, anything not there? Maybe I may conclude these things. I will, maybe ICSA will send this presentation to you also. I'll share it with them. I'm John Vincent. Thank you for your attention. Maybe afternoon session may be very risky. You can reach me through LinkedIn or mobile or whatever mode. We are all one. Whatever the knowledge, you can share some of the cases, or I can share some of the case how these things are. We can support each other with the even the bank. Another the biggest point is how we can empanel with the banks. That kind of things, out of things, one-on-one we can discuss. If anybody want how to empanel with any of the banks and something like that, I can able to assist. As being a banker, when what bank, which bank, something like that, we can engage for that things also. I'm open for that purpose. ICSA, any team, anybody there? Then if no questions are coming, then we can conclude this session.
Okay, sir. No problem. And thank you for
Yeah.
your time and your insight. It was a wonderful webinar.
Yeah. Thank you all. Wish you all the best.